and I can see what is happening with the market as well, which is uh, just amazing to see what is happening with the market, because it is only and only going up all the time, and it is not doing any kind of pause, any kind of correction. We have already crossed 24,300. We will talk about that today. And I was also going to do something today, which is very interesting, actually. Every month, I don't know how many of you all know this, but every month there is a mutual fund tracker that comes out. What is a mutual fund tracker, right? Mutual fund tracker is nothing but what are the changes that people have done in the mutual funds, whether what they have bought, what they have sold, which also gives me a broad sense of idea of what is happening in the market, who's accumulating what, and why are they accumulating as well. Now, the reason why I track mutual funds buying and selling is also because they do a lot with respect to the movement in the market, number one, and they also have a lot to do with the trends and the mega trends and smaller trends happening in the market. And usually, when they invest for at least 3 months to 6 months to 9 months to 1 year. So, if they have bought something in the month of May, then I would not say June is a bad time to enter, mainly because I know that they have bought in May means they will hold it for at least another 6 to 7 months, right? So this is usually how I look at things. But today I thought, I wanted to actually go through that entire list because it's just July and the list has come out. So I wanted to quickly go through that as well if you guys are okay today. But first, let's look at the market. After we look at the market, let's look at the mutual fund trackers as well. Is that okay? All okay? Yeah? One second. Chalo, let me see first. How do they share the screen? Wonderful. Where can we find the list? I'll show you where you can find the list as well. Okay. So, uh, actually, so I basically follow. Can tell me when you guys can see my screen, yeah? Tell me if you guys can see my screen. Okay, wonderful. You guys can see it. So, there are these people on Twitter that usually take time out and compare last month's holdings to this month's holdings, and they say how much has been increased, how much has not been increased, and all of that. So there is someone on thing that I follow. Okay, it is called Save, Invest, Repeat. So very interesting because what they do is every month they basically put up a screenshot of what was the fund that was holding before and what is the fund that is holding right now. I wanted to quickly go through this entire list with you guys as well to understand what has been increased and what has been decreased. Now, I am more interested in what has been increased compared to what is already there. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm more interested in that is I'll come to this a little bit later. But the reason why I'm more interested in this is because I understand first from them why are they increasing something. That means do they have conviction in it? Do they feel it will go up even more? So these are some of the things that I would like to understand. Now let's do a quick Nifty review before we go into looking at the companies that mutual funds have bought. Right now, Nifty that was beautifully trading in the channel after elections has made a new high, retested, and now it's just going up, 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 and up. If you look at it from an RSI perspective, right now it is little overvalued. Over this point, it's overvalued right now. That means too much buying has happened, right? So this is one big issue that I see. But to be honest, if you ask me, I don't see a very, very, very massive correction that would come right now, mainly because two reasons. One, I think the foreign investments have started coming into the market again. FPIs have started buying, which is foreign portfolio investors. They have started investing in India once again. So they will keep a good cushion. And the second thing, because of our SIP, so much SIP is coming into India every single month. The SIP money is actually cushioning the entire market and not letting the market fall, which is considered one of the best things in this decade because this will continue to keep our markets afloat even in bad times. So even when the market falls down, the mutual funds still have to invest in the market, whether you like it or not. They still have to invest, right? So I think we will not see a very major crash because of the SIPs cushioning our market a lot. Small correction, yes, but I don't think we will see something very major looking at what is happening in the market right now. Okay. But what is happening in the market, if you look at the last 1 week performance, 1%, last 1 month performance, 9.9%, which is insane. And Nifty has been going up quite drastically, right? Constantly and drastically it's been going up. And I think last week's winners, if you ask me, was the defense companies again, right? I don't know how many of you were tracking two things. Defense and railway company again became the favorite of the stock market last week, with I think Muscat going almost 20% and RBNL going up almost 17-18%. I don't know if you guys saw it last week. But these two companies started shooting up again, indicating I don't know. News has not come out yet. News has not come out yet. But this again indicates that something or the other is happening in the market, which might come in the near future, right? As you can see, so this is what happened in Mazgaon Dock. It's just flying. It's just flying, and it's not stopping as well. Yes, Sai Krishna, Mazgaon Dock is 70% up after your small case. I know. It's gone up quite a bit, and we had a thesis of why we liked Mazgaon Dock, or why I liked Mazgaon Dock. I had a thesis for it. The thesis is doing well, so I'm not saying anything bad or good about it. The thesis still holds. Same with RVNL, as you saw, it went up by 17%, but RVNL is building up to it. If you actually see the chart, if you look at the technical analysis of it, RVNL was really building up to it, right? It was consolidating in this zone for a very long period of time. It was waiting for one burst to happen. It was just about to blast, right? Whether it would blast in the morning time or whether it would blast in the evening time, we don't know. But it was ready to blast, and obviously, as we saw, as soon as the market opened in the morning itself, it started shooting up by 17%, and it started doing really well. Right now, if you look at similar companies in the space, if you look at companies like JWL, I think most of the companies that are in the railway space are doing similar pattern. See, again, this is also consolidating here, right? Again, if you look at it, this is the high. It is also consolidating the similar way. And again, I feel give it some time. This will also, this has a, I mean, might. I don't know if it will, but they're all looking very similar from a blast perspective, right? So I don't know what is going to happen. Something is playing out. Something is playing out. Let's see. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay. Chalo. Now let us do one thing. Uh, let us do one thing. Let us go back. Yeah, let's look at the mutual fund companies that we're looking at, and then we'll little analyze. Okay. Now, I think you guys can see my screen. One second. Instead. The problem is my screen, my face is going to cover most of it. So let me put it here. Okay, so this is going to be better. Yeah, I think now you guys can see this now very clearly, guys. Can you guys see this very clearly? I want to analyze these things with you together, and we'll understand why mutual funds are buying companies, right? So I'm not buying, why mutual funds are buying these companies, and I want to give you an idea of how we can understand and look at things, right? Now, the ones in green that you see are the things that they have bought. So they already had stake in the month of May, but in the month of June they increased their holdings. Means they would have bought obviously the whole month of June they're buying in small chunks, and in July obviously they will reveal it. But when a mutual fund house increases their position in a particular company, it basically gives us a sign of bullishness that that they feel that there is more upside coming in the future, so it can go up really well. Voice is breaking. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Let me know if the voice is fine again. If the voice is breaking, let me know if the voice is fine. Let me know if the voice. I think now it's okay, right? Okay, wonderful. I'm just going back. Yeah, sometimes it goes, sometimes it comes. It's okay because I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm not on Ethernet, right? But it's okay. So if you see it right now, okay, as you see, the biggest change that was happening with Parag Parikh from last month to May to June was a company called Indraprastha Gas. And the amount of increase they have done is almost 10% from the amount of shares they had in last month to this month. They've increased the allocation by another 10%. Right now, why do you think? I want to ask you guys. Obviously, I know the answer, but I want to ask you guys. Why do you think uh, people are? Why do you think a fund like Parag Parikh is actually buying gas stocks? Why do you think that is the same? What is happening? Why are people buying gas stocks? And it's not just only Indraprastha gas, right? There's a whole theme around this. But why are people hydrogen gas for EV? No, they've not the right answer. How many of you all no hydrogen? Yes, Sai Krishna got it right. How many of you all actually read a lot to? First of all, there was a lot of things that was written in the manifesto also, which we did a detailed video. But no, not CNG vehicles. It was not only because of that. Do you know that India now has a very ambitious target of increasing the gas pipeline directly to people's homes? Have you guys heard of this? There's a massive push towards increasing the gas pipeline and the gas infrastructure of India so that we have pipeline to every household. Do you guys remember? Let me show you. Okay. So let me show you some news on this. So if you see the news articles, obviously this was there for quite some time. It was not something that was there. Yeah, we discussed it during the last live stream as well, or sometime before that. But what is happening is India outlines plans for 67 billion investment to boost the domestic gas sector, and it mainly because of our energy boost as well. I mean, this is not only for, let's say, your gas pipelines, but the lot of gas pipelines are now coming up in the space. Whether see the 9,000 crore during his Tiruchi visit, then there is Barauni Guwahati that is coming up, Nagpur Jabalpur pipeline project. There is a lot of things that are happening in the gas infrastructure network, which is currently going under the radar, because I don't think a lot of you guys have heard about this, or I don't think a lot of you guys know about this, because not many people are talking about it, because we're only talking about AI and data center and blah blah blah. But there is a lot of innovation happening in this space as well, right? Mainly with respect to the number of money that is flowing into this space. And this is not new, and this is not something that will happen overnight also. This will take time. Okay. Noted that the growing role of natural gas, the nation's primary energy demand, will double to 2045, right? See these people putting these annoying paywall is just frustrating sometimes, right? So this is something you should, I mean, this is why I think a lot of people are piped gas to all homes. I think this was what was there in the manifesto at that point. Gas pipeline, road and railway projects, and we are seeing some notable changes happening in that company. Now if I had to go to screener and check this company out, by the way, I have not invested in this, nor have I bought this company. I'm also very not very what do you call that, aware of this company, and I don't track the gas market too much, because I don't know the gas industry too much. But I will just give it a shot right now, right? Looking at just the fundamental screeners, because I don't even know what are the key technical parameters they look at it from this perspective. Yes, Indraprastha Gas has been doing well. Even from a technical standpoint, it recently broke the 500 mark. It is going to go up peacefully to 552. So if I had to show you, this is something that happens with a lot of companies, by the way. So if there is a small breakout from a range like this, okay, to make it better, I'll go into a weekly chart pattern. Okay. Yeah. So when you see that there is a small break from a previous resistance, which was around 500, let's assume that is 500 for now. And the next high that was made was somewhere here. And if it doesn't reverse from this, then you will have an easy gap filling, as they call it. You will have an easy gap filling of approximately 20%, 17 to 18% here. So you go there, touch it, do Ashirwad, and then come back again, right? Same thing happens with your other companies as well. Similar things have happened with other companies. Have you noticed this similar thing happened with a company called HDFC Bank, right? Is it lagging again? Okay, wait. I'll just wait for 2 seconds. I'll just wait for 2 seconds, guys. 1 second. I'm on Wi-Fi, today, so I think there will be some small fluctuations, but don't mind. It's okay. It just takes 2 seconds and then it'll completely be fine. Yeah. Okay? Chalo. So usually what happens if you look at HDFC Bank, right? HDFC Bank had a similar structure on a weekly time frame. It's obviously given its, I think tomorrow is going to fall, but HDFC Bank had a similar structure like this, right? As soon as it broke that gap filling that happened here, it broke it. It's going to go up, touch it. Now it's going down. You know why it's going down again? I think it's constantly going to go down for a bit right now, right? But it is quite sad. Did you guys didn't understand the last part, right? So let me repeat the last part, so no problem. So Indraprastha Gas looks like it's doing a small gap filling. It will go up and do a gap filling. I mean, high chances, I'm not saying it will, but there is a very high chance that Indraprastha Gas will go up, touch 600 in the near future, giving a 20% gain, and it should hit and come back again, right? This is what I think it will work. Yeah. Okay, what else? Next. What else have they bought after this? They've increased their allocation in ITC almost by 9%. They've increased their allocation in Maruti Suzuki, ICICI Bank, Coal India. Oh, very interesting. How many of you all have checked out Dr. Reddy's and Bajaj Holdings in the recent past? How many of you have checked out Dr. Reddy's and Bajaj Holdings in the recent past? Something very interesting is happening because Dr. Reddy's also came on my screener watch list. I'll show you why, and you guys will be quite shocked. Okay, this is Dr. Reddy's. Okay, sitting at 19.7 PE right now with a good ROE ROC ratios, not bad at all. Dr. Reddy's is a very big player in the entire pharmaceutical space, so there is nothing wrong with Dr. Reddy's from a pharma standpoint. They have a free cash flow of 1,908 crores that they are making. And if you look at Dr. Reddy, you will see that it is currently just breaking its all-time high. Just breaking its all-time high with massive volumes coming in on the day of 27 June. They're just breaking their all-time high. It's not broken yet. But the funny thing is not that. The funny thing is, right? The funny thing is, if you look at the P ratio, and if I do max chart on the P ratio, you will see that it is currently sitting at an all-time low P ratio over time, over history. Isn't that very interesting? Okay, wait, I think you cannot see it. Let me zoom, let me go down a little bit more. Now you can see it more properly. The P ratio of Dr. Reddy today has been discounted so much that it is sitting at an all-time low, making it a very deep value attractive buy for people who are only looking at PE re-rating as a game. Right now, mutual funds basically do this where they look at companies that are very good, very strong, they have very good financial ratios, they have very good free cash flows, and they are considered deep value companies that people have usually ignored. And Dr. Reddy's has basically come up in that screener, and it's not just for them, it came up in my screener some few days ago. And because I keep looking at companies that have low P ratios and low PB ratios, and when I looked at this, I was like, wow, I think, why is it not going up? So from a long term standpoint, this looks like a prime time for a reversal of P ratio. I mean, I'm doing this today, which is what, 6 July. I'm sure, give it maybe 1 year, there's a very high chance that just on PE re-rating alone, this chart can do much better, right? 6,500 से ऊपर जा सकता है, और 1 lakh crore market cap, it should breach it or should go above it. But it is very interesting. Yeah, obviously API Hub, a lot of themes are playing out with respect to it. It's not just one theme, a lot of themes are playing out. So Dr. Reddy and Bajaj Holdings. Yes, Bajaj Holdings is again very interesting. These are some of the companies you would have never heard as well. Bajaj Holdings sitting at 14p. This is more like a holding company discount, okay, because this is a holding company that has stake in a lot of their subsidiary companies, right? This company has recently just given a all-time high breakout. So it came in my breakout screeners, and this company over time has only been a multi-bagger. Isn't this crazy? It's very crazy, right? Because there are some companies that you never know or you never talk about, and you see companies that are doing like this, right? Which is very beautiful. But obviously, this is now currently at a all-time high. It will definitely come down. If you look at the way the channel is structured, it is right now at the top of the channel. It will come back and touch the 50-day moving average before going back up again, right? So, and also the P ratios 14.8. Usually holding companies don't have a very high P ratio because their only job is holding the stake of the companies, so they don't have very high P ratio. But this company over time has been doing really well, and look at this, 10-year CAGR of stock is 22%. That's mind blowing, guys. That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing. Yeah. So this is, I think, the two main. See, when I look at Parag Parikh and what they're buying and what they're increasing, for me, what really hit my eye was Indraprastha gas for sure. That means the trigger for they're loading up on Indraprastha gas. That means the trigger for gas pipeline is coming up very soon, and I won't be surprised if we see something coming up in the budget for the gas companies when it comes to expanding the gas pipeline dream in India. So if there is something that comes about the gas pipeline dream in India in the coming budget, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. Okay. And the same, I think ITC, Maruti Suzuki are very simple bets that they're just increasing their allocation because it creates a good amount of beta and balance in your portfolio. Same with ICICI Bank. But Bajaj Holdings and Dr. Reddy are not very typical place that companies do. So I feel that is very, very interesting. By the way, I don't know how many of you will remember this, but if you'll remember this, but do you guys remember that Parag Parikh long ago, few months back, had taken a December call option? Do you guys remember this? They basically said that right in the future, in December, I'm going to predict that the stock price of Nifty will be much, I mean, the Nifty's price will be much more than what it is today. And they had taken a huge call option of 22,000 call option December. That means they're predicting that by December, the price of Nifty will be about 22,000. And if it goes up before that, obviously the future price will also go up before that. And today we're sitting at 24,300, which is a premium of 2,300 points, which they have just made on their Nifty 50 index, which you can see there. Right, look at this Nifty 50 index 22 call option December. They still have the same amount of quantity, which is 51,950. They have still not reduced their lot size, showing that they still are bullish about things that are going to do well. So very interesting. Okay, so this was Parag Parikh. Now let's look at the second company. How many of you all have heard of Quant Mutual Fund? Yeah, how many of you all have heard of Quant Mutual Fund? Now, Quant Mutual Fund, right, does multiple things. First, before you look at any mutual fund, now you should also understand what mutual funds have their thesis in. A lot of mutual funds have different theses in different things, right? Parag Parikh is a very safe long-term player who likes some diversification in US and other countries, right? Whereas if you look at Quant Mutual Fund, they are mainly momentum players. If you look at actually Quant's history, over time they had not beat Nifty as well. When after COVID they've started beating Nifty very well, right? So Quant, yes, insider traded allegation, front running, all of that has come, but that does not beat the returns that they have given in the past for their mutual fund. So they have a lot of frameworks that they look at where they like investing in the lower end when it's deep value, good PE. Sometimes they even do momentum based investing. They find the price anomalies and they start investing in very short term. And Quant is one such mutual fund that churns their portfolio a lot. What do I mean by churning their portfolio? They buy and sell a lot. Usually, mutual funds don't buy and sell a lot. They buy and they keep it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Sometimes they never sell. But Quant is one such mutual fund that buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. They do a lot of short term mutual fund investments, put it that way. They also have the long term. But now, they're not dumb, right? They will not simply do short term without any logic or data. They're not day traders. They will have a lot of data and logic behind investing because they're investing 1,000 crores, 500 crores. Yeah, they do a little bit of swing trading, put it that way, right? It's a little funny. But yeah, let's look at what Quant is doing right now. Okay, let's look at Quant. Again, very good post by this guy called Save Invest Repeat on Twitter. I just follow him because he makes a very good compilation of everything, right? I don't know who he is, but I want to give credit to people when they do a good job. So he has done a very good job. So just being very clear and honest on that. Okay, now look at the fun here, right? Look at the fun here. HDFC Bank May to June holding is up by 216%. Can you guys see this? May to June holding is 216%. What happened to the HDFC Bank's May holding in the what happened in May to HDFC Bank? We all know that it fell down, crashed quite significantly, became completely deep value. The price to book ratio was at an all-time low. We saw all of this. None of us had doubts. I mean, none of us had belief in HDFC Bank, but mutual funds kept buying. Parag Parikh also bought, Quant also bought. Every single mutual fund in the market just bought HDFC. They found it as a buy on dip kind of an opportunity. And as we saw, these guys went really mad in it. They said, boss, hum all in ja rahe. They literally increased their stake 2x on what they automatically had. And as you see here, they have made a nice amount of money because it has gone up from its low to almost back to a high position, right? Number one. They also bought Kotak Mahindra Bank in the month of June because Kotak Mahindra Bank fell in June. So they bought Kotak Mahindra Bank at that point. They have also bought Mangalam Cement. Now, one very interesting thing for all of you guys, again, I don't know if you guys are tracking this or not, but cement companies are also doing really, really well, right? Why are cement companies doing really well? Something is happening in the space. Obviously, your infrastructure budget is there. India is going to grow. What's up to I know, right? But are you seeing some consolidation happening in the cement space? Adani just went and bought a cement company. Adani bought Ambuja Cement, ACC, and then another company called Pina Cement. Okay, Ultratech went and increased their holding stake in a company called India Cements, which is also listed. So now they are going to start expanding to the south quite aggressively via India Cements. So these are the news that you should just normally be aware of, right? But a lot of consolidation is happening, and I don't know if you guys have read the recent conference call of Ultratech Cement. but Ultratech Cement is doing insane, huge amount of capital expenditure and increasing their capacity in the cement space to the next level. They're spending a lot of money, huge amount of capex to get a huge amount of capacity coming out in cement. Why? Because they are foreseeing that in the next few years, cement demand is going to be insanely high. Okay, this is what we are seeing right now. Now, apart from that, they have increased their investment. They have recently bought Pfizer, Sun TV Network, very interesting, Marico, and Aurobindo Pharma. Okay, and they have also increased heavy amount of stake in Adani Power, IRFC, Aditya Birla. Aditya Birla is currently sitting almost, it's again going up. Jindal Steel and Power. Have you noticed? I don't know how many of you are seeing the trend here, guys. Yeah, I think Sai Krishna caught it very nicely. Are you noticed? Have you noticed that most of these guys are direct beneficiaries of anything that would be spoken about in the budget? These feel like budget stocks, don't you think? Right? Mangalam Cement and see companies like HDFC Bank, Kotak will go up if there is anything related to your and Reliance will also go up obviously. So these are the companies that will do really well for any credit related stuff. They have pharma bets, which is Aurobindo Pharma and Pfizer, which are very good bets by the way. And Sequent Scientific is also there. Slight increase they have done, but major increase has gone into Aurobindo Pharma. They have recently picked up stake. So this will again do well if there is something. This is Quant Small Cap Fund. Yes, John versus yeah. Adani Power again they have increased. Aditya Birla Fashion, Poly Medicure, Jindal Steel for again infrastructure, housing and urban development. Hudco. I think this is again because of the housing theme that is playing out where PM Modi will do a little bit about affordable housing, so they will talk about it. But if you see very closely now, most of these companies are very very close to the budget. Like if there is even a general budget that we will think of, that they will talk about, agriculture they will talk about, financial spending they will talk about, infrastructure they will talk about, defense they will talk about, you will see these stocks flying. Defense is not there. Yes, as Jagreet Sharma saying, Sun TV seems like a swing stock just because of the political relations that has happened in Tamil Nadu, and they feel that Sun TV will now do really well for the next 2-3 years, which is again highly possible. And this is why I told you should understand how mutual funds also think. Right? Quant Mutual Fund is a very medium to small term player. He's not. I don't think he's been a very ultra long term player. If you look at Quant Small Cap, very few stocks will continue to remain for a very long period of time. And that is one very interesting thing about Quant Small Cap is the picks that they do. The companies that they buy are also very interesting. Okay, these are not some time pass companies. There are some companies that I would have never heard of that they would start buying, and then I would start seeing ki boss ye kya hai. What have they removed? Let's look at they've churned. See how many stocks they've removed already from May to June, right? They have removed Adani Green, they have removed NLC, they have removed KNR Construction, they have removed Metropolis, and they have removed Aarti Industries. These companies they have completely pruned out. They have removed TV18 broadcasted by almost 50% and Rain Industry by almost 30-35%. So very interesting. I think if you ask me, out of all this, HDFC Kotak, I'm not surprised because that is their standard MO. They do this all the time. What if you ask me? They're by the way building up very good position in HFCL. Okay, HFCL is going to be one of the best beneficiaries of this whole next 4 years theme that is there. I think HFCL should do well, in my opinion as well. But also HFCL is just going up very fast. If you look at Shipping Corporation of India, it's more like a proxy to your Mazgaon dock, because if Mazgaon dock is too expensive, then they start buying GRSE, Cochin Shipyard, Shipping Corporation, and all of that. So all that is there, but it's very interesting their picks. Marico, I'm not sure why they got Marico. There is one thing out of all this, Marico surprises me. Because I'll tell you why it surprises me, right? So if I had a choice between FMCG companies, there are a lot of FMCG companies I can play out. But if you look at Marico, it's not like they were undervalued with respect to their PE. So the PE is also quite high, right? And I think this is when they would have bought. If they bought in June, right? No, how much did they buy? Let me just check once. They have bought in June. June holding is 55,000. So either they bought in June or they bought in May and then transferred it to June or something like that. Bought in May, shown in June. So either which way. See, that's what I said. It's wherever they would have bought, it's not like they've got a significant amount of return. But why Marico? That is my only question as to why Marico, because Marico has not moved a lot. Can you see this? It's been stagnant since 2021. So I don't understand why Marico. It's a very neutral stock. It's not something that flies. I mean, when there are companies like ITC and so many other and Hindustan Unilever sitting at better P ratios, why, and none of them are moving, right? So why would you take this? I mean, if you had to take something which is, if I had to take something which is neutral, like what do you call that, market neutral, I would go for Nestle, right? At least Nestle, whatever said and done, eventually doesn't consolidate for too long. It eventually goes up. I mean, if I don't know, I really don't know. Maybe defensive, but there are better defensive stocks, is what I'm saying. If you calculate it in the same sector, right? Because P ratio is also not very attractive, right? So if your argument is defensive, and you're saying, okay, somebody saying Marico breakout, probably I believe they caused the breakout. If you go back to Marico and understand the breakout actually very closely, look at the breakout. The breakout happened what here, right? The breakout happened on the day there was massive volumes. So either some news has triggered it or something else has happened, which I don't know. If you ask me, I really don't know right now. So I don't want to give any bullshit statements on it. But see, that day, I don't know what has happened. Very interesting. Either way, that was the earnings report that came out on May 6th. The earnings came out and the earnings was not good as well. Even though it was not good, it actually went up on that day. So I'm very interested to understand why. Chalo, anyway, time will tell us. I'm not a mutual fund expert right now, but I'm trying to make sense of what it is. But if you ask me, okay, now finally coming to the final point of this entire episode, right? What did I just do right now? This is a very famous concept called copycat investing, right? Copycat investing has been very famous, where you look at people investing in something and you figure out whether you should take a call on that or not. Now, in quant small cap fund or in quant fund, can you do copycat investing easily, or is it more difficult for someone like quant? What do you guys think? Do you think it's easy to do copycat with quant? It's very hard because quant churns it very fast. Why? Because they buy in this month and they sell within a month, and you will only come to know in the next month, right? So this report that has come out, this what they've bought, what they've sold, has only come in the month of July. They would have sold everything in the month of June. I don't know. But for someone like a Kotak, HDFC, Kotak Mutual Fund, HDFC Mutual Fund, Parag Parikh Mutual Funds, they usually keep it for a very long term period. Now, if you want to know more, there are other ways to find this out. See, I look at Twitter to give me a quick, short summary. But if you want to do detailed analysis about any kind of mutual fund, you can just go quickly to Money how it looks, right? You can go to moneycontrol.com. Okay, I'll show you how to do it from scratch. You can do go to mutual funds here, click on Parag Parikh here. Okay. By the way, I'm not endorsing anything. Okay, then click on portfolio, go down, say I want to view complete portfolio, go down, and you can actually see the entire portfolio and the 1 month change of the portfolio. Now here you can do any kind of filter that you want, and you can see what is the maximum holding. So 8% of the entire holding of Parag Parikh is now in HDFC, and they have around 6.35 in Power Grid, Bajaj Holdings, ITC, and you can see this, right? And if you do 1 month change, you can see what they have increased, what they have decreased. In quantity also you can check the same thing, right? What they've increased and what they've decreased. So this is a very good way to, oh shit, sorry, my bad. Yeah, my bad. See this. So what you can do is you can see it here. As you can see, I'm going to do percentage of total holdings, and you can see 8.42 is HDFC Bank, right? And if you look at the 1 month change, you can check all of this out like this. Interesting, right? So this is what you can do. So same thing you can check in quant. Every month you can come here and check. So quant has almost 9.47% in Reliance, 5.91 in Geo Financial Services. My God, 16% of quant small cap funds money is rested on what do you call that? Reliance. 16% is on Reliance. Can you believe that? So that means, what does this mean, guys? 16% is just rested on quant mutual fund is on Reliance. That means Mukesh Ambani has to be very careful now. Mukesh Ambani ke bharose, yeah. And what have they increased in the last 1 month? You can see it like this. Housing and Urban Development Corporation, 2.89% increase. So this will be something you guys need to track. If you ask me, Housing and Development Corporation Hoodco 31 PE is going up. Do you want me to, guys, would you be interested if I do a separate video on just the housing theme? Because affordable housing is a theme that has been playing out from the last few years. Would you be interested in if I do a quick summary kind of a video on the housing theme? Would that be interesting? I still have to do transformer space video number 2, because that video had 5 stocks and I couldn't do all 5 in one go and do justice by giving you good things. But let me do that. So I'll give you the remaining 3 stocks of transformer industry fundamental analysis I will do. And apart from that, I will do a quick housing theme video as well. So I will do these 2 things for you guys. Okay. And let me just stop sharing in the meantime. And also, guys, very clearly, so I want to tell you something very quickly for the next 60 seconds. And by the way, if you guys can like the video, that will be very appreciative. For the next 60 seconds, I'll just educate you guys on something. So I think there's a lot of talk on what is happening with SEBI and influencers and this and that and all of that. So what has happened in the entire space is there are a few guys who have really spoiled the entire market by having WhatsApp groups, by having Telegram groups and all of that, which is kind of pollutes the entire space. And because of that, other people who are genuinely trying to help people in understanding how the market works kind of get affected as well. And I think I recently saw something where it said that if people even name the stock in the entire video, it is considered as an advisor and you are not considered as an educator, right? So I don't know how you can educate without naming the stock, which is almost next to impossible. But I want to be very clear with all of you guys, and I've done this in the past as well, that whenever I do these videos, it is not a buy or sell recommendation. It is only to increase your knowledge about what is happening in each theme, each sector. And if you've seen me, I'm more of a theme player, not on an individual stock player. So I understand what is the broad market theme. I understand what is the Nifty's theme. I understand what are the different mega trends that are going on in India. And I talk about the mega trends and what are the companies that will do well if the mega trends do really well, right? So mostly a theme kind of a player. But I want to just keep in mind for you guys as well that, because some people ask me in the comment section, I have this company, I have that company. Do I buy? Do I sell? What do I do with this? Should I short it? Should I long it? I cannot give you such recommendations because then I will have to stop this YouTube channel and they will take me out and put me in jail. So I don't want to get into all of that. But what I will do is I will just educate you on the broad market space and make you understand what themes are good, what themes are bad. I think till now in the last 2 years or last 3 years, whatever we've spoken about, we have a very good accuracy rate of what are the companies we've looked at in different themes. And luckily, we've been good in identifying themes little early also, right? A lot of people think that we identify themes too late. I remember in the new year when I came, which is already almost 6 months over in this entire thing, right? But I remember, I don't know how many of you will remember this, but on New Year, I came and did a video and I said, these are the companies that I feel will do well. And a lot of people said these are all overvalued, it will not do well. Everything started doing well after that. Same with the Modi manifestation video, same with the Modi 3.0 small case. So touchwood, we've been lucky in identifying trends very early and identifying companies very early, and they do give returns. But also I would say it's not because of me. I want to be very honest and open with you guys as well. Mainly because I would say that we are in a bull market, and even if you pick 5 stocks it'll work, even if I pick 5 stocks it'll work. So I would not take the credit of finding great companies because I feel it's the bull market and everything does well. The real game will start when we go into a bear market, and then if I can identify good companies, that is when you consider a person truly knowledgeable, right? Okay, chalo, this was just a very quick, nice, crisp video for all you guys. I hope you guys got some knowledge today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the entire education that you got today. Apologies for the voice breaking, and if you have some time, just like the video and share it and subscribe for all the people who are not there. Okay, chalo, this is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off, guys. Take care. See you guys. Bye bye.